It's Ian at SS8000 Cars, and welcome to France. In particular, welcome to the Three Valleys. We're here partly because the Motor Show 2020 got cancelled. So, a great shame. Quite a number of really good cars have been launched, as you probably heard. So from the McLaren 765 LT, so the replacement for ours, sounds like quite a machine, and also Aston Martin have announced their Speedster. However, it is not these cars we're here today to see. It is the 320d, BMW's latest iteration of the 3 Series. This is one hell of a machine. So one of the most economical in the range. We reckon we're getting about 60 miles per gallon on the journey over from Geneva, and I presume it'll hold that for the way back. I like the styling. The styling's compact and neat, and this one is the Xdrive, so it's four-wheel drive, sends most of it to the back under normal circumstances, but can send up to 50% to the front if it detects slippage. And it really hasn't put a foot wrong. This one's on winter tyres, so that makes it even more sure-footed, and there's been a lot of snow here. So we've been testing it out. I like the style, but it's very, very 3 Series-ish. As is the way with BMW these days, quite prominent front kidney grills. Not too bad on the 3 Series actually. I think both on the X7 and on the X6 and the X5, they look a little bit over the top, but that's a personal opinion. The school of thought really is you can never have anything too ugly. It's getting you noticed that matters. I mean, BMW marketing department, I'm sure, knows better than I do. Producing almost 200 brake horse from the 2-litre 4-cylinder engine. So, I mean, that's amazing. This one is a diesel, as you can probably see from the side of the car. So, if we go inside, it's the latest generation. So everything's standard, I think, these days. I think you get leather seats as standard. And it's quite a drop down into the car, because maybe that's just because I'm used to higher cars, although the Panamera is genuinely not particularly high up, unless you have the air suspension in the top setting. Bring it to life, and you can see BMW's new dash. Now, personally, I will go round to the driver's side in a second. Personally, I don't like the new instrumentation. It's too confusing, because the thing about a speedometer and a rev counter is you need to be able to get the speed or the revs at a glance. You can't really do that easily here, although this one has heads-up display, so it's well kitted out, and you do see the speedometer in the windscreen, which is nice. And then they've sort of rode back a little bit from having the central screen, so the infotainment center, proud of the dash, and they've made the dash slightly higher, so it sits, almost flush with the dash. I quite like that. I think it's quite nice. BMW use quality materials in their cars, so it is beautifully put together. Feels well put together, so everything that you touch, most of everything that you touch, is really nice to the touch, maybe with the exception of the transmission lever. I mean, it's a bit plasticky, that, but other than that, very nicely put together. The infotainment center is quite intuitive. All right, let me get out of the car. Inside the boot, not cavernous. This is the Touring, as you've probably worked out. Not cavernous, I'd say. I mean, you've got a couple of cases in there. Obviously, if you put a guard behind the rear seats, you could get another couple of cases on top. But not cavernous for the size of car. I think if you need more space, you'd really have to go for the 5 Series. Room in the back is excellent. I mean, there was a time when BMW produced cars and they were quite tight in the back. I mean, where you bought a Mondeo if you wanted to be able to take 4 people comfortably over long distances. But now, you know, with every iteration of the 3 Series, the car has got a little bit longer, and a lot of that's been put back into the rear seats. So sitting in the back there, you've got tons of legroom. Whether you need the 4-wheel drive is a bit of a moot point. I mean, my own personal view is, unless you're driving in conditions like this, it's probably not necessary. Right, so we start it up. So immediately you can see you've got the dash comes to light. It's freezing out there, as you can probably see. You've got a speedometer on the left and the rev counter on the right, but you can pull up a lot of information in the middle of the rev counter, which I find slightly distracting, to be truthful. It's okay. It's okay, and again, you have a digital readout for the speedometer in the middle of the speedometer cluster, so it's not too bad. And then again, we've got this set up for sat nav, obviously, but it's nice. It's nice, and there's lots of information available to you. Everything is integrated nicely in, and it's nice touch. Lots of storage space. Well put together. Just before we go, I'll show you inside the engine compartment, but BMW's 2-litre 4 has never been that exciting. So this is a nice new 2,000 kilometre example. It's all nicely kitted out with felt across the bonnet to help repress the noise. It's a very quiet car. Really, you're not aware of it being a diesel. Again, the plastic cover covers most of what you'd normally see, but that's the way of all cars these days. Yeah, I think on balance, a very smart car. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's Ian from SS8000 Cars signing off. Thanks, guys.